Fellow citizens, I bid you warmest greetings. I cite fit at this time in my capacity as Parliamentary Representative for Nevis 5 and Member of the Opposition to address the nation in the interest of the public on the issue of the impasse as it relates to the appointment of the Leader of the Opposition and my suspension from the Executive of the Nevis Reformation Party. I wish to thank the constituents of Nevis 5 for convincingly re-electing me as your humble servant and parliamentary representative. I am indeed honored, humbled, and grateful for this opportunity to serve you. When you re-elected me on December 12, 2022, as your representative, I pledge that I would serve you with honor, honesty, integrity, and in a principled manner. I continue to do so and shall continue to do so to the best of my ability. The Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis is a multi-party parliamentary democracy which enables its citizens to elect a government of their choice. Citizens and residents on the island of Nevis was given this opportunity on the 12th day of December 2022. Following the December 12 elections, the Nevis Reformation Party, NRP, won 2 of the 5 seats, namely Nevis 4 and Nevis 5. NRP, having secured 2 of the 5 electoral seats, formed the opposition in the Nevis Island Assembly at that time, and thereby creating an occasion for the appointment of a leader of the opposition in accordance with Section 58, subsection 2 of the Constitution of St. Kitts and Nevis. Section 58, subsection 2 states that whenever there is an occasion for the appointment of a leader of the opposition, the Governor-General shall appoint the representative who appears to him or her most likely to command the support of the majority of elected representatives who do not support the government. No representative shall be eligible for appointment unless it appears to the Governor-General that the representative commands the support of at least one other representative. To put this in simple terms, there are 2 members who comprise of the opposition, and one cannot be appointed as leader of the opposition without the support of the other. At all material times, I have indicated that I fully support Honorable Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge to be the leader of the opposition. However, I did request that I would like to have a say in selecting the nominated member. I remain resolute that this was not a difficult proposal. Some may argue that the leader of the opposition has the right to nominate a senator. However, the member first has to be appointed as leader of the opposition. This, my dear citizens, is not an absolute right nor entitlement. It requires collaboration, consensus, and compromise. It is a give and take situation. As the elected member for Nevis 5, I am of the firm view that I must always have a voice on behalf of the people who elected me to represent them, and that voice should never be muzzled nor muted in any way. A decision so important as choosing a senator requires a democratic process. Although the St. Kitts and Nevis Constitution gives the leader of the opposition the right to nominate a senator, I am certain that the authors of same did not intend a unilateral approach to the said appointment. I am certain that they must have envisioned a holistic and inclusive approach. After all, St. Kitts and Nevis is a democratic country. I could not, in good conscience, support Honorable Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge to be the leader of the opposition before the first sitting of Parliament on January 19, 2023, because of the approach and the stance that she took in relation to the nominated member. Permit me a few minutes to explain the chronological order of events that led to the impasse and events thereafter. I promise to be brief. On December 14, 2022, 2 days after the local election, I reached out to Honorable Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge to arrange a meeting to discuss the leader of the opposition and the nominated member. We met that same evening. I indicated to the Honorable Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge that if she was so inclined to permit me to be the leader of the opposition, as I was in the Parliament for almost 3 years, or if she was inclined to be the leader of the opposition, that I will fully support her, provided that we agreed that I will choose the senator, of course with guidance from herself and the party. On December 28, 2022, during a telephone conversation, Dr. Daniel Hodge stated that she saw no reason why she, as the leader of the party, should not be the leader of the opposition. I informed her that the matter was not in dispute, as I had already given the undertaking that I would support her to be the leader of the opposition as early as December 14, 2022. On December 29, 2022, the matter was raised again during an executive meeting. I reiterated several times during the meeting that I was willing to support Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge as the leader of the opposition, provided that I was able to choose the senator, and of course, with input and guidance from the party. It was clear to me that the members of the executive either did not understand my proposal or were already round-robin on the matter, as the members were adamant that the party leader should be the leader of the opposition. The meeting erupted in total chaos as members were of the view that I was being disloyal to the party. I was accused in the most insulting and inhumane manner of being a traitor and trying to destroy the party. The negative energy in the meeting could not have been a natural consequence of a suggestion made by myself as the deputy leader of the party, which in the circumstances was not unreasonable. The negative energy appeared to mirror the years of resentment towards me by some members of the executive, stemming from the leadership battle in 2020 between Honorable Daniel Hodge and myself. Of course, leading the charge was Mr. Kelvin Daly, the chairman of the St. Paul's constituency group, who by now all could confidently conclude that he is not a fan of myself. I can go further and state openly that from inception of my political career, I was disliked by Kelvin Daly for reasons unknown to me. Despite my protest to the chairman, Mr. Henry Daniel, not to put the matter of the leader of the opposition to a vote because the decision to support Honorable Dr. Daniel Hodge could only be made by myself as the other elected member of the opposition, and it was not necessary to do so as the matter was not in dispute. I advised the meeting that a discussion at the executive level on this matter should be merely persuasive. The chairman nevertheless ignored my requests and proceeded to allow members of the executive to vote on the matter. It became clear to me that this was a well-orchestrated plan designed by some members of the executive. I wish to inform the general public that I strongly protested against the executive voting on this matter for several reasons. Firstly, I was concerned that any future reliance on the executive decision of December 29, 2022, to coerce me to support Honorable Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge could be deemed as an infringement of my constitutional right under Section 58(2) of the St. Kitts and Nevis Constitution, which afforded me the discretion to offer my support to the other elected member to be the leader of the opposition. Secondly, I was fully aware that no decision of the executive nor the NRP's constitution can bind me as a member in Parliament in circumstances where I was exercising my parliamentary duty or function in accordance with Section 58 of the St. Kitts and Nevis Constitution. Further, I was mindful that the St. Kitts and Nevis Constitution is the supreme law of the land, and any law or rule that is inconsistent or contradicts the Constitution is void to the extent of the inconsistency. Thirdly, the very same chairman, Mr. Hensley Daniel, who was chairing the meeting, was one of the persons listed by the party leader during the meeting as having an interest in being the nominated member or senator. I openly objected to the chairman being appointed as a senator for 1 year merely to qualify him for his pension, as I was of the view that that move will set the party back 50 years, and there were other avenues available to him to get his pension. I also reproved the chairman for not disclosing his interests prior to the meeting and for not recusing himself from chairing the meeting and for casting a vote knowing that he had an interest in being the senator. The glaring conflict was not only unprincipled but wrong in every sense of the word. I was fully aware that the majority of members who voted to endorse Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge as leader of the opposition were unfinancial members of the party and therefore were ineligible to vote during the said meeting, thereby breaching Article 5A of the NRP's Constitution. Therefore, rendering the December 29th decision null and void and of no binding effect, as the chairman did not take any remedial steps during the meeting, immediately thereafter, or to date to rectify the breach. I will revert on this point later in this address. Having received notice that the first sitting of Parliament was scheduled for January 19, 2023, I reached out to Honorable Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge to finalize the selection of the senator. We discussed putting a rubric or criteria in place to guide the selection process, which we eventually did. At that time, she also sent me the final list of names that were suggested for the senator, and I observed that an additional name was added to the original 9 names which were disclosed during the December 29th meeting of the executive. We met on Friday, 13th January 2023 to discuss the matter. And at that time, we had narrowed the list down to 2 persons. I recommended Renaldon Bartlett. Most of you may know him as DJ X-Ray. And Honorable Dr. Daniel Hodge recommended Miss Caroline Merchant. I had no objections to Miss Merchant, save and except that I was of the view that the nominated member should at the very least be a member of the party or be in some way a supporter of the party. I admitted to Honorable Dr. Daniel Hodge that I did not know Miss Merchant's political allegiance, as I have never seen her around the party, or at least within the past 2 years, nor during the 4 consecutive elections that NRP recently contested. On the other hand, I knew Mr. Renaldon Bartlett. and I knew him to be an avid supporter of the Nevis Reformation Party for many years. I was of the view that Mr. Bartlett was a good candidate for a senator, as he was a member of the St. Paul's constituency group, and he had shown an interest in being a candidate for Nevis 1. He had also served as the office administrator in the office of the opposition during Mr. Joseph Parry and myself time. I was also of the view that a young male in Parliament complementing the two elected females was a good image for the party to show gender balance and equality and diversification of talents. I am not interested in political power. I am for people empowerment, especially for ordinary citizens in this country and those who come from humble beginnings. I saw potential in this young man to be given the opportunity to serve his country and party by being appointed as a senator. We must, as leaders, always pave the way to create opportunities for the young people to become exposed and to develop, especially our young males. Despite the Honorable Dr. Daniel Hodge and our best efforts in trying to choose a senator, we simply could not agree for different reasons. I therefore suggested that the matter should be taken to the executive body for a wider discussion, as I was of the view that a more holistic approach was necessary. During the executive meeting of December 29th, I informed the meeting that if we were unable to decide on a senator within reasonable time, I would have to write to the Governor General, as I was obliged to inform him that I did not support the other elected member to be the leader of the opposition. Otherwise, he would naturally presume that the support is given or commanded. I wrote to the Governor General indicating same on January 17, 2023 at approximately 1:36 p.m. At 2 p.m. on that same day, I received a text message from Honorable Daniel Hodge indicating that I should call her urgently. Then I received another message at 3:35 p.m. from Honorable Daniel Hodge stating that she sent me a correspondence via email and I should sign it if I had no difficulty. I did not see the messages from Daniel Hodge until about 6 p.m. that same evening when I returned to my law office, as I was out of office and I did not get an opportunity to check my messages during the time I was out. I quickly checked my email and retrieved the letter from Daniel Hodge addressed to the Governor General stating that I support her as the member for number 4 to be the leader of the opposition. The letter was signed by Dr. Daniel Hodge and a blank space was provided for my signature. I immediately called Honorable Daniel Hodge and asked her if we had resolved the selection of the senator issue. She stated that she indicated to me that she chose Miss Merchant to be the senator. I told her that we clearly did not have a meeting of the mind and I couldn't in good conscience support Miss Merchant to be the senator for reasons that I had previously disclosed. I reiterated that the matter should be taken to the executive of the party for a wider discussion. On January 19, 2023, both Daniel Hodge and myself were sworn in as members of the opposition during the first parliamentary sitting. That same date, known supporters took to social media to express their frustrations. I was publicly maligned and attacked by key supporters of Honorable Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge for taking the stance that I took. and the said abuse continues to date without any interference from the party leader or the chairman of the party. On January 20th, 2023, I was served with a letter by the High Court bailiff from the party's chairman, Mr. Henry Daniel, stating that he bring to my attention the decision of the executive and at its meeting on December 29, 2022, to support Honorable Daniel Hodge as the leader of the opposition. The letter stated that I had breached Article 6 of the NRP's Constitution, which states that all members of the party are under a duty to carry out all party decisions and instructions at all times. A copy of the draft letter that Honorable Daniel Hodge wrote to the Governor General was attached, and I was asked to sign the letter and return it to the party's headquarters by 4 p.m. on Wednesday, 25th January 2023. I totally disregard the letter because I was of the firm view that the executive decision was null and void for reasons explained earlier, and the party's constitution had no binding effect on me in executing a parliamentary function or duty. One avid supporter of the Nevis Reformation Party contacted me to inquire whether I was interested in participating in a mediation to resolve the senator issue. I quickly agreed, and a mediation meeting was held on January 29, 2023. We were unable to agree amicably to resolve the senator issue. With a compromise, however, we both agreed that we would look at other persons. I disclosed the names of 2 additional persons during the mediation meeting, whilst Honorable Daniel Hodge requested more time to consider other options. The negotiation process, as far as I was aware, was expected to continue until the matter was resolved, at least prior to the next sitting of Parliament, which was scheduled for February 20th, 2023. I made every attempt to resolve the matter amicably, so that both myself and the other elected member can be comfortable with the choice of the senator. However, Honorable Daniel Hodge, the party chairman, and other members of the executive were busy taking all necessary actions to have me removed from the party. A meeting of the party's General Council was held on January 30th, 2023, to establish a disciplinary committee. The delegates at the meeting voted accordingly, and a 5-member disciplinary committee was established to discipline me as the elected member for Nevis 5 for failing to support the party leader, Honorable Daniel Hodge, to be the leader of the opposition in the Nevis Island Assembly. On February 8, 2023, I received a notice from the General Secretary of the party, Miss Angelica Elliott, stating that the Executive Committee submitted a complaint to the recently established Disciplinary Committee on February 8, 2023, and in light of that fact, the Executive Committee has taken the decision to suspend me from all matters related to the party pending the outcome of an investigation. I wish to advise the general public that the executive body of the Nevis Reformation Party breached its own party's constitution on December 29th. The decision of the executive was void, as the majority of the members who voted in the said meeting were not financial members of the party, and therefore were not eligible to vote in the said meeting. Additionally, the complaints made by the executive body are false and of no merit. Further, as an elected member of the Parliament, and a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis, and a justice of the peace, I have a legitimate expectation to natural justice and due process of the law, which I was deprived of by members of the Nevis Reformation Party. The general public is further advised that I intend to exercise every legal remedy available to me under the laws of St. Kitts and Nevis to ensure that justice is served. To the good people of St. Thomas's Parish, I wish for you to know that it was always my intention to serve you and the people of Nevis in a principled manner and with the highest level of integrity as your area representative. I pledge to do my best to continue to build St. Thomas's Parish and to advocate for changes that will help to enhance your standard of living and provide you with a more comfortable life. I will continue to serve you in the Nevis Island Assembly as an independent member of the opposition. I promise to continue to grow the Lowland Community Foundation, and I look forward to partnering with both government and non-governmental agencies to develop community-centered projects in St. Thomas's. I wish to thank all of you for your outpour of love and support. To every person who called or texted me and who took the time out to visit me to show support during this whole ordeal, I say thank you. To my very strong support base, I really couldn't do this without your love, support, and guidance. Thank you for believing in me even during my darkest moments. To my many advisors, both legal and otherwise, I say thank you for your advice and guidance. To my husband, my family members, and my close friends, and my very special mother dearest, thank you for your love and support. I express profound thanks to my supporters on social media and other forms of media outlet. Thank you for defending me. Last, but certainly not least, I wish to thank God Almighty for giving me the strength and courage to endure. I take this opportunity to wish one and all a happy Valentine's Day. May God continue to bless us all.